Hello, and welcome back. Okay, let's try this again and see if it works this time. Okay, I had to move to another room because my neighbor has decided to stomp on the floor and play the music as loud as possible. I guess she saw my last video. Okay, so we are here to talk about extraterrestrial and angelic presence on this planet, our current state of solar activity, and why people around you are asleep. I'm going to give you guys a second to show up here. It says there's no one here, but I just got a thumbs up. Okay, let's try this again from the location of my bedroom now. Maybe it'll be quieter in here, and maybe this will actually work. I guess I have to temporarily give up on using my computer as a way to make videos. Okay, so hello and welcome back. I apologize for all the crap that is me that comes through this channel, the making of videos and all of that other kind of stuff. Okay, solar flare news, why the people around you are asleep. Are they asleep because you're here to wake them up? Are you here to plant seeds, to wake up other human beings? Are interdimensionals, extraterrestrials, and angels the same thing? Let's talk about all of this. That's what tonight's show is about. If we can make this work this time. I don't know what's going on with the lighting. I swear I'm not a redhead. But as long as you guys can hear me okay, I don't care. Okay. How's it going, Christina? Okay, James said that's better. Okay, good. Hello, Lena. Hello, Christina. Carol Cahill, you're back. Okay. Thank you for coming back. I'm so sorry for that. Angels, extraterrestrials, interdimensionals, solar flares. Let's talk about all of this. And let's talk, most importantly, why the people around you are acting the way they're acting, why the people around you are asleep. And sorry for the things. Hello from Tennessee. Hello, Tennessee. Okay, let's talk about this. Okay, and this is weird that my phone is. Never mind. Okay, let's get to it. I apologize for those that were here previously and heard part of this. There's a reason, I suppose, that I'm making it in my bedroom and not my office at the moment. Okay, so let's jump into this. Hello, all 18 of you, and welcome to the news that is starting to make the news. I guess I'll have to change the name of my show pretty soon, right? Okay, in solar news on February 17th, we had a solar plasmic discharge from the south pole of the sun, which is extremely rare. And those scientists have been arguing from the time I started watching space weather, which was probably a decade ago, whether we're in solar minimum or solar maximum. The one thing they can agree on is what just happened on February 17th was extremely rare. It is extremely rare for us to have a solar flare or massive impounding solar energy at the north or south pole of the sun. And that's exactly what happened on February 17th. And not only did it happen in the size that was 15 times the size of Earth. Okay, I'm guessing this may be one of those things that didn't register. Perhaps it registered as a C class or low M class, perhaps, but I'm guessing that there's not a whole lot of people talking about it. Now, when I found this information, the guy that was talking about it, the guy that actually took pictures of it, said that it was so large he had to just keep rotating his camera to actually get it in there. Okay. So in solar news on February 17th, we had a solar discharge from the south pole of the sun that was 15 times the size of Earth. Now, people have been arguing on social media for years that because it's not an earth facing CME, that it's not going to have any effect on anyone outside of planet Earth. However, the whole concept, the whole idea, the whole reflection of what ascension actually is the consciousness of the human expanding past the realm of the third dimension. Okay. So if we have chosen pre-birth, the ascension path, the goal of that is nothing other than expanding our consciousness out into the other multidimensional realms beyond the third dimension. The way you do that is through your antenna, which pulls all kinds of micro and macro particles of solar happenings down into the body. You anchor those in the body and you anchor those into Earth. So whether it was Earth facing or not doesn't really make a difference. Okay. It will make a difference for those who do not have an antenna up out into the section of our universe where they can feel that. Okay. But that is not you and that is not me. Okay. So you all have your energetic signature or your antenna, right? Out of the confines, past the confines of Earth, out into the universe. And some of you have your antenna out into the confines of the multiverse, and some of you have your antenna, your feelers, okay, pulling in energy omniversally. Okay. So even if that CME was not directly facing Earth, you would have felt it and you probably wouldn't have found any confirmation of it. Now, one thing I want to tell you about confirmation is if, unless you're out in the country somewhere, when these things happen within 24 to 48 hours, you're going to start hearing a lot of fire trucks, police chases, fire trucks, ambulances, all sorts of things. Yes, we are spirit living in a body. And that spiritual aspect of us, that soul aspect, has that antenna out into our section of the universe, the multiverse, and some of you, the omniverse. So, yes, whether it's earth facing or not, you, my friend, are going to be feeling that. Okay, we'll see how long I can sit comfortably on this bed here. All right, so it was so funny today because I was sitting here and I had jotted down my notes, and then Renee had posted something so similar. And I see that you're here. Hello, Rennie. So, you and I, the people watching this video, have made a contract for ourselves prior to coming in here. The fourth dimension is a bridge of information from the third to the fifth dimension. You cannot walk someone across that bridge. You cannot push someone onto that bridge. You cannot drag someone onto that bridge. And you cannot plant seeds to get someone to cross that bridge. So all of those things are waste of your energy. Now, the only way that you can affect those around you is by allowing and inviting yourself to be catalyzed by the energy around you that lacks awareness. So it's not that you have been lied to or that there are these groups that were started for negative reasons. Okay, so every time the spiritual movement has a new brilliant idea or spark in a new direction, it is always intercepted, it is always infiltrated by the dark macrocosmic part that wishes to control, manipulate, and assert and usurp control, right? So someone may have come up with a brilliant idea 10 years ago, but if you're just now coming onto that and you're in a Facebook group or some kind of social media platform that is telling you that this particular information is not true, the inception of that idea was true, it was organic, and it was meant to be helpful. However, every sector of everything has been infiltrated. That's why you've been told for so long to learn how to use the discernment. The discernment is an etheric muscle, if you will. Okay, so you have chosen pre birth to be on the ascension path, meaning you have chosen to put that antenna out, that spirit out into the multiverse, into the omniverse, or our section of the universe, wherever you are right now. And you have people around you that have not chosen the same thing that you have. Now, I spent a lot of time in the last video talking about people in the devil energy, the negative energy, the energy of fear, the energy of manipulation, and how that macrocosmic group wishes to infiltrate down and puppeteer those who sit at a place of negativity on a permanent basis. So, not someone having a bad day or someone that gets angry or disappointed, but someone that sits in that energy as a whole on a regular basis. There are people around you that have not chosen to wake up right now, like you have. Some of us chose to wake up, to expand consciousness, to ascend consciousness outside the third dimension. That's what ascension means. I allow and invite pre-birth my consciousness to expand out into the ethers where I can pick up on energy, messages attached to the and connect to the Akashic record, whatever it is. Some people have chosen awakening right now, and some people can't. That's why I said you can't walk them across the bridge or push them across the bridge or get them across the bridge by planting seeds. The only way that you plant seeds is to allow and invite your own consciousness to shift above and beyond the third dimension. And every time you go out there and do that, you are anchoring in an energy that changes for people. But some people have not chosen this path. And the most important thing that I learned in watching my last video, because I always watch the video when I'm done making it, is that the reason you are experiencing people around you that are asleep or unaware is not so that you can awaken them, because it is actually through those sleeping people around you that you finally wake up. Now, I don't mean that you're asleep and those that are more asleep or less aware are catalyzing you to wake up, because you're on the first wave of ascension. So you're already woken up. But have we perfected that? No. We still have dysfunctional relationships. We still have sometimes a poverty mindset. We still are in the internship of the learning of how to be Merlin, right? How to manifest things. So we are by no stretch of the imagination on the first wave of ascension. Are we there yet? In our manifestation, in our thought process, and leaving things behind that don't serve us. Even if I talk about leaving things behind that don't serve us, doesn't mean I have done all of that either, right? It's kind of a reminder to self as well. It is through the sleeping and unaware people around you that you are catalyzed to the next level of the game of ascension. These people in your life are there to catalyze you to the next level in the game of ascension. We've had this backwards and inverted for a very, very, very long time. The sleepers, those who are unaware, are here to wake you up. They are here, in a sense, to expand your consciousness, right? Because if the first wave had already figured out how to do everything, had already figured out how to shed everything and be the perfect manifester and all of these things, then I wouldn't need to be here. and you wouldn't need to be here either, right? The sleepers around you are here to fully awaken you, to show you how you are asleep. Okay, so any negativity we draw in, that whole last video is about the devil energy. All of that realization after making that video was that those people are here not because you and I are completely asleep, but to catalyze us to the next level within the Ascension game, to fully awaken you, to show you how you are asleep, and to show you where you are asleep. Okay? So, so that you will continue to evolve in your next level of consciousness, right? Because any of the things that I talked about in the last video wouldn't be affecting me if I was manifesting to the point where I could just move on from this energy, which means essentially moving on from the physical place where I live. Okay, so we are reinventing ourselves and we are rejuvenating ourselves. And the way we do this is through childlike energy. We knew when we were young who we got along with, what we loved to do, what it felt like to be healthy, what it felt like to be young and inspired and uninhibited and unhurt, um, um, unwounded, all of that, if you will. So reinventing ourselves with the eyes of children. If you ever watch children, right, you could watch Johnny and Timmy playing, and Johnny might smack Timmy, and Timmy might cry, but 5 seconds later, he's right back playing with Johnny. And that's what I mean by the eyes of the child. Maybe you had a bad relationship or went through you know, a, a tough, gut wrenching divorce, and you're hiding under a rock because we don't see things as children. So the question is, how quickly are we bouncing back? How quickly are we bouncing back from hurt, from disappointment, from relationships, from, bad jobs, from negativity in general? Our 0 point or our starting over, our reinventing ourselves means that we have to see things through the eyes of children, which means the next time I go on a date, I have to go on that date with eyes of a children like I've never been hurt before. Okay. When I go to a job interview, I have to go to that job interview like everywhere I worked has treated me like gold. Okay. This is a little bit of welcome to the land to make believe, but it's incredibly important for us to rejuvenate ourselves and to reinvent ourselves by living through the eyes of children. And when I was younger, I thought I could do anything, right? I remember building a tree house in the backyard and telling my parents that we were going to have a zoo there and we were collecting ants and bees and all kinds of things. And the greatest thing about my parents is they never said, no, you're not going to do that. No, that's stupid. That's crazy. You'll never get people here. They just said, okay, do you need some tools from the shed? Would you like some, curtains for your hut? Do you need some screens to put your bugs in? Some jars, some lids, whatever. They just played along with it. And I have to remember back to that. And we all have to remember back to how we would play, what we love to do, what kind of people we love to do, what kind of activities we love to do when we were children. And in order for us to reinvent ourselves, we have to see things through the eyes of children. Very important. Okay. The next thing I'm going to say is going to be disturbing to some people, possibly. You know me, and you know that I don't ever really care. But let's talk about angels, interdimensionals, extraterrestrials. I don't even like to call them extraterrestrial because I know there's a barrier around the planet, and I don't know how long it's been there because I think in 2000 and maybe 13 or 14 we were told that it was put there so the reptilians couldn't escape. What they had done to humanity so they could pay for it. But I believe that was them in a way giving us disclosure and telling us that there was actually a barricade. I believe it's been there for thousands of years, possibly longer than that. Whatever we're seeing on this planet lives on this planet. And there is an exception or two to that. So let's talk about that. I have been seeing and conversing with what I call angels from the time I was a child. Okay. And with my Catholic upbringing, I didn't know what else those beings would have been um, other than angels. But when I was in my teenage years, I started getting messages from the Pleiadians. And then, I was working my way around different groups. And then I was actually, I was having the space commander of the biggest fleet in our atmosphere talking to me. And actually, it was happening while I would be on the phone with people, and the space commander would come through. And so the person that I talked to very regularly would figure it out to jump in there and ask questions of this space commander. So the person I was on the phone was would ask the questions, and then I would turn around and hear an answer telepathically, and I would type it to that person, and then we would go on to the next question. So that started happening, I think, I started talking to the space commander, I want to say 2014 or 15, but he started coming through in phone and text conversations in 2018. I've had many groups guiding me, speaking to me, consoling me, hanging out with me, protecting me, um, for as long as I can remember. The only thing that has differed is my view on what that is. Okay. And this is the part that might be upsetting to people. I know that some people, I see this all the time, whether it's in real life, it's in the church, it's on social media, whatever it is. There are people that believe you will be healed or your life will be assisted or you will be helped in some way if you pray to God. And those that believe that are helped by praying to God. But if that was the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, the people who prayed to Jesus wouldn't be assisted, helped, and healed. The people that prayed or meditated to Ganesh would not be helped, assisted, or healed, right? So it doesn't matter. And religion is just a way to divide us. And I know that the majority of you know that, but it's just a matter of you putting out the energy, of you meditating, of you praying, of you having a frequency that matches that of assistance and healing. Whoever's name comes out of your mouth has nothing to do with it. Okay. So the other thing is this works the same way with the angelic realms as well. Now, the angelic realms are here solely for the assistance to humanity. Okay. So the angelic realms are going to come through to you in whatever way you personally would understand, see fit, invite, um, or play along with. Okay. So if you're a person that says, oh, I don't believe in God and I don't believe in angels, that energy, that six dimensional, interdimensional energy that can show up, this is the one um, exception to what I was talking about. Okay. So all these extraterrestrials that we are seeing, that we are working with, are all here on the planet unless you're solely having telepathic connection with them. Now, the angelic realm is different. The angelic realm is sixth dimensional. Okay. And the angelic realm, the majority of that, some of you might not like this, is Octurian. Okay. The Octurian is a light being. And that is what I've been seeing since the time that I was in the crib. So that Octurian energy is purely what looks like the outline of a human body, but essentially an 8-pointed star, a 12-pointed star. So it looks, kind of like the figure of a ghost, but it's just all light emanation. It's what I've seen since the time I was in the crib. They have even appeared to me in different ways, depending on where I was in my state of consciousness as well. So that sixth dimensional Octurian being, they are the group of beings that has signed up to help all sentient life on planet Earth. Okay, so they are just as likely to show up and assist the trees or the flowers as they are the human beings. Okay, now those Octurian light beings can take on a body if they want to, but what I'm telling you is they will appear to you any way that would be um, inviting to you. Okay, so if you if you believe in interdimensional beings, they may show up and say to you they are an interdimensional being. If you only feel connected to Lyra, they could show up and look like a Lyran. Okay. If you only feel connected to Octurians, they may show up and look like what you think is an Octurian, even though an Octurian is nothing but a six-dimensional star in the shape of the body. Or at least that's the way I've always seen it. So, with these angelic beings, and I've known for a while that basically these this particular group um, were what I call star beings, meaning they come through like just a giant essence of starlight in kind of a tall blob, like you would see a ghost, but incredibly brilliant. And they speak to you telepathically. They will speak to you. They might just show up as a loving energy. And again, it totally depends on what you would resonate with, is how they're going to show up. Now, these beings don't even have to be here. They can be 10 years, light years away, and project themselves as a light energy, as a spark, as an idea, as an interdimensional being, as a Lyran, as an angel. Okay. Now, they've been called angels for, I'm supposing, millions of years. Um, and they are angelic in the way that they are here to support not only humanity, but the animal kingdom, the mineral kingdom, the plant kingdom, all kingdoms. But remember, they will appear to you, sometimes just to console you, sometimes they will have a telepathic conversation to you. But remember, what they say to you and how they present themselves to you depends on what would be acceptable and what you would actually invite in. Okay, so in times of grieving, in times of sadness, they would come to you. The majority of Octurian beings have always been light beings, and they've never had a physical vessel. So if you feel like you're being watched when you do certain activities, since the majority of those beings, and this is probably for a separate video, they are also the beings that will come in and be walk-ins, but that's for another time. Okay, so if you ever feel like you have an energy that's watching you, you'll know if that's a welcome positive energy or not a positive energy. But because these Octurian beings, these angel beings, have never been in the human form, they love to watch humans when they're in their highest state of joy. Okay, that might be driving a boat for you, that might be climbing a mountain, that might be you creating amazing food in the kitchen. But they are very much beings that will come and support you, give you strength, give you love. They may show up as a spark or an inspiration if you're not open to, the religious side of it, or even the, extraterrestrial side of it. Okay. So on this earth, we have three-dimensional beings walking around like you and I, who are on the ascended path of consciousness. Okay, path of awareness. We have fourth dimensional beings on this planet as well. Some people can see them, some people cannot. Some people can hear them, some people can sense them. Okay, so those are your fourth dimensional beings, and fourth dimensional beings can be of either polarity. On this planet, we also have fifth dimensional beings as well, and those beings have are, most of them are in a human body, okay? And most of what resides below our feet in inner earth, Agartha, whatever name you would like to give to that, those are also fifth dimensional beings there as well. So you can see we have more of a melting pot, I think, than we've ever been told. And as I mentioned before in a video a couple of months ago, whatever we're seeing in our skies is here and unable to leave at this time unless they are interdimensional beings that can come and go and barriers don't matter. So if if you have ascended to the point where you can walk through walls and um, all of that, then yes, you can. They could present themselves as a ship, and they could, if they're etheric only, go through um, that barrier that's currently around Earth, okay? But there are no ships coming from outside of Earth right now. They are in the oceans, they are in the center of the Earth, they are in the mountains, they're in all kinds of places. You and I are third dimensional. We have fourth dimensional beings walking around that are both polarities, okay? Not everybody sees them. They also can show themselves if they want, or they can be invisible if they want. We also have fifth dimensional beings. And then the sixth dimensional Arcturian group can show up to you in any form they choose to. And if they feel like they are the band of angels, okay, for lack of a better term. They are the band of angels that are here to assist all sentient life and will show up in whatever way that they can get your attention, or whatever way essentially that works for you. They're going to know that, and that's how they're going to show up. Um, oh no. Yes. So the last thing I want to talk about is our elevated state of consciousness, the Ascension game, the next level, those people around you that are bringing shadow energy, devil energy, mixed emotions, or giving you a hard time, whether that's work, or it's in your home, the grocery store, your local pub, wherever those people are causing a ruckus. It is so that you can, it's to catalyze your energy to the next level of ascension. Okay? If they have not, someone has not chosen ascension pre-birth, there's nothing you can do or say. There's no seed that you can drop. There's no bridge that you can shove them across, okay? That's going to make them comprehend or understand or what they want to change. We make the decisions about our life, the major decisions. We create the major decision and the roadmap. Okay, so it's not a completely drawn out thing. Okay, but we do choose certain things pre-birth, and at this 26,000 year cycle, we chose pre-birth to expand our consciousness from the third dimension into the other realms and anchor that back for a planetary awakening. There is no other way that you can awaken a human being. No article, no email, no song, no video is going to catalyze someone unless that someone has decided the ascension path. So, elevated status in this game of ascension. The elevated for status for us is self-love, self-talk, and self-care. Okay, doesn't mean we're going to be 100% totally on our A game every single day, but our status of ascension, our status of expanded consciousness right now is about how we love ourselves, how we talk to ourselves, and how we care for ourselves. When we love ourselves enough to release what needs to be released, that's where we are. We love ourselves enough to release what needs to be released. And the reason why I'm saying that some people have chosen awakening right now, you have, and other people around you have not. They've chosen it or they have not. So if you're surrounded by people who have not chosen it, you have to love yourself enough to release what needs to be released. Okay. This means spending time with yourself, getting to know yourself, getting to know what makes you thrive as a human being, having a spiritual experience. You've chosen to expand your consciousness past the third dimension. If you are surrounded by a multitude of people or even one person, that is not going to change, it is never going to change, and you know that. And I know you're so loving and you're so giving and you want to keep giving to that. But the way we talk to ourselves, the way we love ourselves, the way we care for ourselves means we have to release what needs to be released. We have to spend enough time with ourselves to know what makes us thrive as a human. So, any situation we're in where we're not thriving as a human, we have to exit stage left. Your life is a play. You wrote a very basic script before you came in here, and every day you have choices. But the way you love yourself, the way you care for yourself, the way you talk to yourself, when you have figured that out, when you have a feeling in your heart and in your soul, what makes you happy and what makes you thrive, you have to choose that and shut those other things down and shut those other people off. Okay? It's so important. If someone has not chosen to expand consciousness outside of the realm of the 3D, there's nothing you can say. You can't love someone into it, right? It's totally impossible. You've chosen it or you haven't, okay? And in that experience of people being around you that are sleeping, not awake or unaware or not on your level, okay? It's not, they're not there in your life so that you can awaken them. They are there to elevate you from the point where we are right now, where we're working on manifestation, we're working on perfect health, we're working on what makes us feel in the heart space like we are thriving and expanding and enjoy. And those people are around you to show you where you're not expanding, to show you where you're not in love. They're there to show you where you are not in joy. Okay? It is through the sleeping people around you that you wake up to the full capacity of what it means to be a human in a third dimensional body with a consciousness that's out there in our universe, in our multiverse, and in our omniverse. The sleepers are here to fully awaken us. It's not the other way around. We chose to be surrounded by people and in situations that would show us where we were not doing well, to show us where we were not loving self, to show us where we were not thriving, so that we would then choose to thrive. Okay? Those sleepers, those people that are unaware, are here to show you how you're asleep. They're here to show you where you're asleep so you can make course correction and choose love and choose joy and choose that fulfillment in your heart. Our elevated status, our ascension game next level is disengaging from those energies, those people around you that are not joy, that are not love, and that are not bliss. There's no other way I can say that to you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. And thank you so much for coming back after another failed attempt on my computer. Okay. Anybody that's around you that is unaware is to show you, to be your teacher, to catalyze you into the next stage of the game of Ascension. They are here to teach you how and where in your life to thrive and hit the next level. Thank you.